So Team Fortress 2 is one of those beloved gems in the game industry, and this is probably one of the longest games to hang around for so long. And I think this game has been around for like what, 15 years, 17 years or something like that. This game has been basically around for like an entire decade, and still thousands of people are still coming back to this game and playing it to this day because it's just such a masterpiece beloved by a lot of people. And this is one of people's favorite games to play of all time. But unfortunately, due to some recent issues regarding the developers of this game. I think it's Valve that developed this game. Okay, so I just double checked on my phone really quick, and it is Valve that have developed this game. Well, Valve Corporation to be precise. But, anyways, I digress. So, Valve has not really been doing their part maintaining Team Fortress 2, and people are just getting upset and furious. As a matter of fact, the entire community is upset and furious with the fact that Valve has just been lacking on taking care of the game and trying to, I guess, somewhat preserve it after like 17 years. I mean, I get it, Team Fortress 2 is like a beloved game that a lot of people enjoy, and they want this to stick around for the long run as much as possible. And it's good to see that a community is coming together and trying to keep this game going for as long as possible. But the problem is, Valve has just basically been lacking in the preservation department and trying to actually put effort into making the game better because there have been reports of a lot of issues with the game as of late, whether it be through bugs and glitches, whether it be through like technical issues, as a matter of fact, anti cheat problems, even. And Valve has basically just not been doing their part. The game has gotten so bad, it's gotten to the point where Team Fortress 2 is now basically just unsafe to play now because there have been reports of so many critical problems with the game, such as like cheaters going around. There have been reports of hacks going around, basically just exposing sensitive information, and just the lack of security overall with the game, more importantly. Now, I don't know if I have to remind you folks about this, but Team Fortress 2, it is like a 15 to a 17-year-old game. Like, this game has been around for a whole decade, and the game is still going strong, like 15 to 17 years later. And again, it's so amazing to see a community come together and just try to help this game go out in the long run. But the fact that Valve has not been really doing anything about it, it's just pathetic. So you're telling me that a game that has been around for like an entire decade and it's still going strong, and you're telling me that Valve can't put more resources and development time into Team Fortress 2 that everybody loves? Like, you're telling me that Valve is basically just going to continue to remain radio silent on this subject and not do anything about it? Jesus Christ. I know I've been using this example a lot lately, but it's still a good example. Let's look back at Helldivers 2's recent controversy, where the game was going through such a massive of backlash state where Sony tried to force a PSN account requirement for PC for Helldivers 2, and the community was absolutely enraged. And then the entire Helldivers 2 community review bombed the game as a sign of protest against Sony, and then Sony was basically forced to backtrack. And now we got Team Fortress 2 that has fallen into a similar boat. Now, of course, there's no PSN account requirement, obviously, because Team Fortress 2 is a PC based game on Steam. But however, the fact that Valve is still not really addressing these issues, which they should, because you have such a beloved community that is still playing this game like decades later, and the game has been out for so long, and there are still a lot of people that genuinely do care about this game because it's such a fantastic game. Like, people enjoy playing this game, and it's because they love it so much, they have to call out these issues. They love it so much that they need to call out the developers like, hey, get your crap together. There are problems with this game. Fix it, Valve. Like, again, the fact that the community's coming together and basically calling out Valve for all of these issues, it's just great to see a community stand up for a game that they love. And you would think, with all this criticism and with all of these problems that Valve is getting, and with all the complaints Valve is getting, you think that they would fix these issues, right? Well, as of now, only time will tell. So, unfortunately, we're just going to have to play the waiting game here and see what happens. Hopefully, all these issues and these problems get resolved, because this would be a massive heartbreaker for a lot of people if Valve does not fix the problems with this game sooner than later. Because if you ask me personally, a game that is this popular still to this day, like, I would definitely fix these problems if I were Valve. Like, if I was in their shoes, I would buckle down and try to get these problems ironed out as soon as possible. Because as of now, the game is just not really in a safe place to play right now. Hopefully, this will be a wake up call for Valve, and hopefully, that they get their butts in gear and they actually fix these critical issues that's infecting the game so people can just go back to Team Fortress 2 and play it again. So, with this being said, thank you everyone for watching and for listening. And until next time, I'm talking about Team Fortress 2, and I'll see you all later.